Oh my God, I gotta eat one more. Today I'm making super easy, delicious stuffed mushrooms. Mushrooms are good all year round if you ask me, but this recipe, it speaks to the holidays because I'm using holiday stuffing and some sausage. And if you want to make this oil-free, then you just leave the sausage out. And if you want to make it gluten-free, then you just buy some gluten-free holiday stuffing. Okay, I've got the oven preheating for 350, and we are just going to make up our stuffing and then we'll fill the mushrooms. The only thing I need my food processor for, and you don't really have to do it, is I could just chop these up really fine. But I had it out and I'm gonna do it. 6, 7, 8, 9 mushrooms, and I've got 13 that I'm gonna stuff. It doesn't really matter. I just love the meat of my stuffing to be mostly mushrooms. So one of the reasons I like to use my processor is because I really like a super fine texture. It's really fine. It almost looks like sausage when you do it. So that's why I use my processor, because it's much harder to chop like that. When I was prepping my ingredients, I already had chopped my onion before I decided to use my food processor. But if you're using your food processor for your mushrooms, go ahead and put your onions in there separately. As I said, this recipe is oil-free except for the sausage because they put oil in the sausage. So if you want this oil-free, just leave that out, and believe me, it's delicious without. You can add a few little crushed walnuts if you want, but you don't need to because it's really delicious with everything else. I like to get the onions a little bit soft and the bitterness out of them before I put my mushrooms in. Those two things are the thing that need to cook the most. The rest is a little bit with the apples, but they'll cook while they're baking. And the spices and the stuffing, they just go in at the end. So we're almost there. It's an easy recipe. Okay, I'm gonna add the mushrooms in. Mushrooms are funny. They need to go in dry, and then they produce their own liquid out, and that absorbs away, and then they absorb your liquid. Can you see now all that liquid coming out? See it off the lid. Now we keep cooking till they dry up a little, and then we add a little veggie broth and our spices. There's no special amount of veggie broth. You just want to get the right moist texture, but not too wet. I'm going to add our seasonings in right now. I've got our sage. Start with that amount, and our oregano, some salt, pepper. Wow, what an aroma. Sage and mushrooms and onions. Okay, let's add our apples. Stir that around. Some veggie broth. Put that lid on just to soften the apples a little. Okay, let's add our stuffing. Now, if you don't have these kind of herbed breadcrumbs, then just use panko crumbs, you know, or any breadcrumb. These ones just happen to have some herb seasonings. And the sausage. So if anything, you want it a little bit wet, but definitely not too wet, but it's really easy if it's too wet. Just cook it a little without the lid and it'll dry up. But if it's a little bit moist and wet, it's easier to keep it in a mound on top of the mushrooms because I like to pile them high. Can you see this is nice and moist? I think that's gonna pack in there nicely. I'm gonna cook it for a few more minutes and then we're gonna put them on. Wow. Rest of the sage. Rest of the oregano. We got it. I'm going to put a little veggie broth in the bottom just to help those mushrooms not stick and also to cook a little in the broth. And now we just start holding one in our hand. Take a nice big spoonful. Pile it high. It's a little easier to do this when the stuffing's not hot, but I can't wait. You could even make this and then do it the next day. Look how amazing that is. I'm going to put them in the oven for 400 and it's probably going to be, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes. They're done. Look how delicious. Man, they smell so good. I can't wait to eat these. Wow, I love this so much. I could eat this every day. This is that good. If you love mushrooms and you love stuffing, you will love this one. And it's so easy because you don't even have to cook the mushrooms first. You just put the filling in and put them in the oven. Oh my God, this is so good. Yum. You taste the apples, you taste the sage, you taste the sausage. But you know, if you didn't put sausage in there, you'd still taste the sage and the mushrooms and the onions. And you could put celery chopped up or walnuts chopped up or cranberries or pomegranates. There's so many ways you can do this, but this is just a basic recipe. I like to make it like this because it's a little bit like my Thanksgiving stuffing. It's so flavorful. It's earthy and nutritious. And if you're vegan and you want something great for a holiday party or a holiday dinner or a Christmas dinner, oh my God, this would be so delicious. And everybody will rave about these, I promise. But whatever time of year, these to me are in season all year round. But holidays, they're the best. All right, you guys, thanks for subscribing. I so appreciate each and every one of you guys. And thanks for watching and share it with your friends. I'll see you next time.